nominated.
Karibu. Welcome back. This is Politics Today hapa Science TV. Tuko na Nicholas Oyo SG.
Yes.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Our sign language interpreter is Wanja. Just call her Wanja. If you want, you can say Wanja Ngeve, but she's Wanja. Yes. Now, Nicholas.
Yes, John.
Why is Simba Arati's office in a stadium?
John, it is amazing that we can have an office of the governor in a stadium. I don't know, I've never seen that. It's a new phenomenon I'm seeing.
Right.
And we need to really ask questions. People from Kisii, the senators, the MPs from Kisii, you need to tell us what's going on. And Simba Arati. Really, the question we have to ask we want to ask the Minister for Sports, Ababu Namwamba, Mheshimiwa Namwamba. Iko shida kwa nini tumechukua stadium tukabadilisha ikakuwa ofisi ya governor? Tafutia governor ofisi hata kama ni mahali ingine, ndiyo stadium ibaki stadium.
Wait a minute. Are you serious again that the office of the governor is in the stadium? Or have you been to Kisii? Are you speaking something factual?
No, I've not been to. I've been to Kisii before, but not under my friend Governor Simba Arati's reign.
Yes.
But then the information that we got and the arguments that came up tells us that the stadium is actually his office, because police were saying that they had gone there to relax. You can relax in a stadium. So that's what they were arguing. They had just gone there to relax, and they found that unfortunately it was taken to be that they are coming to his office. But then, John, the question is that there are some people who went into the office, and actually there were issues because of I think the Borders office was opened there by Simba Arati, and there were questions about that. So those are the issues that were going on, the undercutting issues.
Okay.
So we have unconfirmed report that the office is in a stadium, and we need media journal like you people go and confirm this matter.
Now, just a day ago, that must have been yesterday, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission was very angry with one Silvanus Osoro for claiming he paid every leader, for every leader there to travel outside the country. Wanamuona yeye, he's the one who has to talk to the people concerned, then wanamwachia yake wanaenda.
Jonah,
did you hear that?
I heard it in some grapevine. I haven't really gotten into the story.
Yesterday,
he claimed, Jonah, if that is the issue,
they cannot travel without his approval.
If that is a claim coming from the MP, Jonah, the EACC should not be angry. They should arrest the member of parliament and ask him, because that is corruption, Jonah. They should not take time and start telling us, oh yes, no. This is a person who they should arrest and let him do a statement.
Jonah, or was he just politicking?
It could be politics, but when you politic wrongly, Jonah, if I say that I've killed someone because of politics, take me in first. Let me go and do a statement on that. Jonah, the reality is this. We must make sure that people don't take advantage of the spaces that are there. Somebody may want to be given some airtime, so they say some controversial things. Yeah, pay for it. They say this, it cuts both ways. If you say it that way and it's going to affect Kenyans and affect other people, it means that you are doing an act that is not agreeable with the Constitution, Article 73, which says that you need to act as a leader, and you must be, your actions must show that you are a leader, Jonah. So EACC should not be wasting time in getting angry. They have, I hope the teeth are there, because anger does not help. Get the guy in and let the guy make a statement.
Yeah, anger is a sweet emotion.
We don't need anger from EACC. We need action. That is what we want. And I believe that the person who is now in charge of EACC, the Reverend, the Bishop Oginde.
Yeah.
Bwana Oginde, anger does not help, and you are a person who has preached about anger before. Can you just smile and arrest the MP as you smile? You don't need anger. Arrest the member of parliament, Let him go and do a statement, if that is the statement that he made, John.
Thinking about it.
Very unfortunate.
Thinking about it, Honorable Sylvanus Osoro, he's aligned to KK government, isn't he?
Yeah, he's actually one of the players in KK government, and I hope, Jonah, yes. I hope, and this is that's just me. Don't put it on your channel. Don't put it on anybody. I hope he's not involved in what is happening with Kisii politics, where Simba Arati is facing these problems.
No, truth be told, in the previous government, it was the likes of Arati who were in control, courtesy of
the Matiang'i and
all that. But right now, they're the ones now. So he has to make the current government feel it.
Jonah, so, the thing is this:
yes.
you don't do for others what you don't want to be done unto you. The Kenya Kwanza government used to complain and argue about state capture and what have you. If Sylvanus Osoro is also putting himself as a deep state, and the question that we are dealing with, which the EACC got angry about, is one of those questions of deep state, Jonah, he should not be allowed to go that way. This is not a country that you are going to take resources and begin to misuse resources and waste opportunities of leadership. Sylvanus is a young person. He's a person who, if you heard him in other forums, is very articulate, and is a person who understands issues. But then when it becomes now the politics has begun to win him over, it's very unfortunate. And I feel that it's unfair. And I'm asking my friend who is from the other side of the aisle, Kibagendi, can you please talk to your friend? I believe that you know how to discuss. He's a young man like you. Can you take him for some coffee, Bwana Kibagendi?
Yeah, there are many other leaders in Kisii. There are many other several leaders in Kisii.
Yeah. I'm addressing a person who is almost the age of Sylvanus Osoro, so that they can talk as age mates.
The thing is this: could it be true then what he's saying? Because it means then that if you want to travel out of the country, you have to go through him as a Kisii person, as a Kisii leader. Without him, there is no travel. And he said very clearly, wananipitia kwangu, and then I do it, and wananiachia yangu wa wanasafiri. So it's like, without him, no travel.
Jonah, it is really unfortunate if those are statements coming from a leader of this country, who is a leader who has a lot of influence in the government of today. It's very, very unfortunate. I hope that he disowns those statements, and is also disowned by his colleagues. And I'm saying again, and I say it again, EACC, you can smile and go and meet the MP,
right,
and basically let him record a statement. That is a statement that we cannot allow to continue in this country. And even the NCIC, this is where the problem begins. Where is NCIC? Where is the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights? Because the reality of the fact is, when these people begin to just pretend that they are not hearing, then these leaders begin to go haywire. So the reality of the fact is that we don't allow it to go that way, Jonah. And talking about those trips, it's also a matter that we need to deal with.
Yeah, definitely we need to ask. Oh, by the way, the president, today, just today, Honorable Gachagua spoke and defended the president's travels. In fact, he said, endelea ku, tembea, wewe ndio raisi, wewe ndio, reminds you of Tanga Tanga.
Unfortunately, yes. Jonah, maybe the name was appropriate and apt. It's very unfortunate that
yes,
having made 38 trips, Jonah, in 1 year, the former president made 48 trips, Jonah.
In 10 years.
In 10 years.
Yeah.
Previous president Kibaki made, I think, 33 trips.
Yeah.
In all the 10
years. Yeah.
Jonah, we are facing a problem in this scenario, and we must bite the bull, take the bull by the horn, Jonah. The issue here is this, and I'm really going to go back to where I've always said, the members of parliament, not even the members of parliament from other formations, Kenya Kwanza members of parliament, you are going to fail your country, your government. You call it your government. You are failing your government if you cannot control these things. I was hopeful that somebody in the Kenya Kwanza government, and I'm asking Aaron Cheriot, is a senator, those are now senior senators, Kimani Ichung'wah, you are now the majority leader in parliament. Can you craft a bill whereby every travel that happens in this country, you must give us an outcome of that travel, a report that tells us where we benefited, Jonah? At this point in time, we're asking ourselves, what are the benefits of this travel? Are they personal benefits, or are they benefits for this country?
No, you stated we have gotten, is it 900,000 or so jobs?
That's okay, but then we need to get those reports so that we can say that the travel that you went to Korea, he's gone to Comoros, he's gone to some countries that some people might have struggled to look for in the maps of this world.
Right.
But the question is this: what are we benefiting from those trips that are done? Every trip must come with the benefits as part of the report that goes to Parliament and is filed in Parliament, Jonah. I believe that we have legislators who are listening, and I hope that they can understand that this is going to help this country. It is not about this president, it's about any other person who will make a trip out there. And Jonah, I'm really struggling to answer to the Deputy President, Honorable Gachagua Rigathi. I don't know what to say, because he has talked about shares. I didn't agree with him. I don't agree with the statement that he has made about these trips, and I hope that somebody really deals with the question of ensuring these trips are useful to Kenyans.
Okay, but at least it's a good thing then that they have reduced the number of traveling of leaders, you know. In fact, it has gone down significantly. One media outlet spoke of 500 million, and the president came out and said, no, it is 11 billion shillings that has been saved, not 500 million. So you can see already, by reducing the trips for many leaders, savings are coming back to the country.
And Jonah, it's really a problem that we are saying we are poor, we are saying that we have an economic situation to deal with, and we can have spent. How much have we spent in the travel so far? That's a question that should really be the inquiry of this. How much have we spent?
Not
Forget about the ones you're saving
saving
now.
Okay.
Because it means if you're saving 11 billion, then you probably have spent another 11 billion already in trips. This is very unfortunate. Maybe there needs to be a capping in the law that I'm talking about that says that you cannot spend over $1 billion in a year for travels or something, I don't know. I'm asking members of parliament, there are 349 of them. I'm asking senators, there are 67 of them. Can somebody really craft something and really help this country? Because we are facing a situation where, as the people who elected a government, which basically we wanted something to be done for people who are the hustlers. We talked about the hustlers at the grassroots. You're taking 11 billion to go and spend walking around the world. We need to know what are the benefits to Kenyans so that we can say that, oh, hustler, you've gotten this because this travel happened. We need to get these issues dealt with. In other countries, Jonah, a president may not just go leave a country. If you are going, it means you might even be told you use your own means to go there where you want to go. So really the question is that we need to deal with the accountability issues in these travels, Jonah. They are going to mess us up. And this is the first year, Jonah,
Right.
38 trips. We are looking at 250 trips. Take or leave.
Don't you think that's good for the face of Kenya internationally? By the way, could it be one of the reasons why the international community is endearing themselves to Kenya, and most especially to our President Ruto, because wherever he goes, he's traveling a lot. Let him carry the name, you know, something about you, because he's a good international face right now.
No problem. For Comoros now, they know Kenya exists. That's good. But then the question, Jonah, is this: can we have these issues taken into a legal a legislation that will help us to deal with the matter, so that we can take that it is true that we have benefited from these journeys that have happened, and this is how we have benefited, so that we can actually deal with the question of accountability of these travels. We don't want a situation where the travel happened, and Jonah, when there's a report, we will know if the president carried no, let's not talk about the president, but people who carried joyriders. I hope the president doesn't carry them, but then it will tell us if they're giving us any, progress in those engagements. I hope that that is something that there's an MP out there to take up.
Okay, let's talk about the land evictions a bit first.
Wow, John. Wow.
People being moved out of Mavoko and which other place?
When I was here, Jonah, yes. I had not confirmed the question of the East Africa Portland Cement. Actually, East Africa Portland Cement is actually a private company.
Okay.
So this means that those evictions are being done by a private entity. And the question now is this, Jonah, and I've said it before. When I wanted to go for office at some point, one of the questions that were taking me to parliament was evictions. And I wanted to come up with an idea that says that even if you're going to evict me, Jonah, then there's going to be a procedure of eviction. So I wanted to have a bill that is going to be an evictions procedure bill, or rather an act that basically means that the human rights of that person do not really get trampled upon. So if this issue of the East Africa Portland Cement is happening, Kenyans are involved and Kenyans are us. And so when Kenyans are involved and their rights are being violated and people are being going to be denied something and people have spent resources, even when they spend it knowingly and maybe being lied to or being cornered and conned and what have you, then we must find a way as government to participate in that eviction. And the law we are talking about is government, because government is parliament, government is judiciary, and government is executive. So if we give a law to the government, the executive of this country, it would probably say something like, if you want to evict, we give you 3 months and you lock up the place and we give you security and everybody is removed without their property first and what have you. Then you're given 3 months to remove your things so that you don't suffer from those things. If you can remove your house, Jonah, then you will not have suffered the consequences of your savings or your spending all that, and then it goes into waste, Jonah.
But anyway, East Africa Portland Cement has been here since 1933.
True.
They are the rightful owners of the land. In fact, you can go all the way to London, you can go all the way to the UK and get the record straight. It is their land.
It is
so
their
it
land.
means that at some point, somebody came in and mischievously, using government officials, of course, using people's in the land's office, of course, doctored things to con people. And this thing looked real, and people came in and invested a lot of money.
And so, Jonah, the question that and this is where government becomes the mandate of the government, to ensure the rights of Kenyans are not violated, or they are not trampled upon, even if they were conned, Jonah, even if somebody used other means. It is now time for us to do investigations and find out what happened. But even when, Jonah, you own the land, if somebody comes in your house and you shoot that person, Jonah, and you kill them, you still have to answer certain questions on the basis that you've taken away somebody's life. What were the circumstances? You get the point?
Right.
So the reality of the fact is this: even when that particular land belongs to East Africa Portland Cement, they cannot be doing those things where a Kenyan will now become suffer consequences even when that land is theirs. This is the thing. East Africa Portland Cement is not like you. It's not a person by way of a natural person. They don't have to eat so that tomorrow they will say that we are hungry, we need to eat this land. You get the point?
Right.
So it can be something that we can discuss, and I had hoped that members of parliament would have taken that matter and I thought that they would have. Even Kalonzo Musyoka was involved, but then they went to court, and then that matter was not sorted. I would have hoped that they would have taken to court some alternative resolution mechanism, which they would have registered in court, instead of basically trying to look at it from the adversary fighting in a manner that they are basically coming adversing to other people. I think it would have been better if they had taken the question of alternative ways of resolution to ensure that those people are given time to get their product, their property out. They can go and basically maybe reside with their maybe relatives or even other people, so that we can find a way of ensuring that this is done in a humane manner. And Jonah, what I'm saying is that even when people have taken that land, even if they took it in a manner that is what you're saying, in a manner that there was conning and what have you, how would you get this information if you don't allow the people to become part of the engagement? Now people are very bitter. You will not ask them anything, they will not answer you in a good way, so you might not even get information. These people could probably be witnesses for the state, and the EACC could go and tell them, now that we have taken care of you, your kid is at least having something, a roof over the head, you can actually cook some food and eat. Can you tell us who basically conned you?
Obviously, East Africa Portland Cement, as you've said, is a private company, and Mavoko is also a private entity. So we are going to see the Mwananchi there really suffer, because after that demolition, the East Africa Portland Cement say the same place where they demolished is ready. They're selling it, and they're giving priority to the people who are buying. Of course, the question would be, how many of those people will be ready to buy the place at that rent? So Jonah, obviously you are going to see new entrants.
And Jonah, it is exactly what I'm saying, that we cannot allow, even if you're saying you have private interest in that land, for you to mistreat Kenyans. They are Kenyans. We are going to use our taxes to take care of them. Some of them are going to go to hospitals. We are going to use our taxes to take care of that.
Look.
The NHIF. So really the question, Jonah, must be that the rights of Kenyans must be allowed to not to be trampled upon. And for me, government should take that position.
Sorry. Someone would have asked you, if you wanted to sell the land to these people, did you have to demolish it?
True, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. The reality of the fact is that if we had found an alternative mechanism of resolving that matter, we would have found a way that at least allows those people to humanely be treated, even if they are living. By the way, we are also having the same question in the land in Mihango, because
Gershon
Kirima's land is also coming up, and it has been given a date. I'm asking the members of parliament at this point in time to put up a committee to deal with that question. We don't want those evictions to happen in that place in the same scenario, John. We know that you're headed there.
And one of the leaders there, I don't know if it's Babu Owino or who, placed a demand that even the Kirima's family should state where they bought the land from and how they bought it, and it brought many other things to question.
Jonah, this is the moment that eviction law should be done, and I was hopeful that this is something that can be done by those leaders there, because you can see what is going to happen. We are going to 31st, and on the 1st, the same scenario is going to repeat itself in that area. It's very unfortunate. We are facing the same scenario. And are we going to deal with it as leaders, or are we going to start blame games and that kind of stuff? And then by the time that time comes, and then the bulldozers are rolling in, and there is a hue and cry all through.
Sensitive manenos.
Why don't we like our people?
Very quickly, because we are winding up in a minute. Bipartisan, imefika wapi? Where have we reached?
Apparently now they are going to do an engagement around the cost of living. They are saying that they are going to meet people and ask about the cost of living. I hope it is not pretense. I hope they are not going to give us half-baked outcomes. But let's wait and see.
Right, let's wait and see. Hey, viewers, let's wait and see. Yeah, for those who have eyes.
Pun not intended.
Give us your opinions on Science TV. You can check out to text us something. We have been with the SG, Nicholas Oyo. My name is Jonah Simba. See you next week here on Politics Today. Hapa tunachapa siasa. Bye-bye.